Good morning. I'm Coach Chatlos, the head cross-country coach here at Liberty North, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our season. We just finished up the state meet this weekend down in Jefferson City. Our girls qualified a team down there, and we were able to take 7th place this year. We took 11th last year, so we've improved 4 spots, and our boys brought 2 boys down, Nathan Stinson and Sam Travis, and they had a good showing, getting 76th and 78th. So at this time, I'll open it up for questions.
What were some of your key strengths going into state?
I think the kids were probably as prepared as we've ever had. They put in a great summer. We run a lot over the summer. We run a lot. We run often. Running's a simple sport, but it's not very easy. So we asked the kids to show up, run, work hard, put in their blood, sweat, and tears every day, and this group has done that. They've put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, so preparation was probably our key. On the girls' side, it's one of the most tight-knit teams we've ever had, and sometimes you work harder when you really care about the person. And I think our girls' team really cared about each other, and they just loved each other and would do anything for each other.
Do you change practice at all or do anything special to prepare for state? And if so, what is that?
Starting about 3 weeks early, we start what we call the peaking process. So normally our boys run somewhere around 60 miles a week, maybe a little less than that, and our girls are around 45 miles a week. Starting around districts, we maintain the intensity, and maybe we even get the practices a little bit more intense, but we cut down on the mileage just a little bit. So each week we drop about 10% of the mileage. So the first week going into districts were probably 50 miles for the boys and 40 miles for the girls, maybe a little more. And then the next week it's about 10% less and at 10% less. But the workouts themselves are at least as intense, if not a little bit more. The hardest workouts we do are at the end of the year, but we give them a lot more recovery time.
Okay. Did you face any outstanding challenges from this season, and how did you deal with them?
Oh, I think any coach would be lying if they didn't say they had some big-time challenges. Health is always our biggest challenge. We have, we've got a good team, but it's not, just like anybody else. If somebody goes down, if somebody gets hurt, if somebody gets injured or something, it really hurts. And Gracie Capala got injured. She pulled a hamstring about a week before districts. And a hamstring, you use it every step you take. And so it's really tough to recover from something like that. It took her a while. It took her every day for several weeks to get back. In fact, she missed districts, and we still got third at districts, but once she was able to come back and slowly get back to form, it took her almost a month to get back to where she should have been. That was one of the bigger trials we had, and you lose one of your better runners or better athletes in any sport, and confidence starts to wane, and people get worried, and they don't always know what's going to happen. So that uncertainty when it comes to injuries was pretty, it's pretty scary, and that's one that you just try and maintain calm, cool, collected nature, and it usually, the kids will do what you do. If you're calm and collected, then they'll be calm and collected too. And I think eventually it worked out, and the kids were pretty confident and calm and collected on the line, and they ended up running very, very well. Especially Gracie ran very, very well at state. One of her best meets of the year.
With a lot of the runners being younger, how does it feel to have a promising team in years to come?
Oh, it's exciting. On the girls' side, we didn't have any seniors down at state. We had mainly sophomores and juniors with a few freshmen. So yeah, that's pretty exciting in the upcoming years. On the boys' side, we have maybe the best freshman class we've had, or pretty darn close to it. Sam Travis set our freshman record by 45 seconds in a 5,000-meter race. That's 3.1 miles. So here he is, a 14-year-old, and he runs the 4th fastest time that we've ever had a boy run. And so that's pretty inspiring. And if you know Sam, he's a workhorse. He's not just going to sit down in the off season, and he's going to work harder. And he was a gamer. He really stepped up. But we have quite a few freshmen in that boat on the boys' side. On the girls' side, I think it's it's pretty inspiring. I mean, we've got 7th place, and every single one of those girls is coming back. I don't have a lot of questions on whether they'd work hard or not in the off season, which is really what it takes. You know, Saturday, we got 7th at state Saturday, but it really didn't happen on Saturday. It happened in the months leading up to it. Over the summer, on June 1st, we met for the first time. And that's when those girls, those guys started running. And that's when they started gearing towards state. Saturday happened. The success we had on Saturday was not due to anything we did in November. It was due to what we did in June, in July, in August. All those hidden hours that nobody sees, that's really where the success came from. And with such a young group, they really don't have any, I don't have any worry about them jumping in next year over the summer and doing the same thing, if not more. I mean, they seem pretty hungry. They want to do well.
I know every season you have people who naturally step up to take a leadership position. Have you seen anyone who typically wouldn't take initiative this season?
Yeah, you know, and on the girls' side, we really didn't have any seniors in our varsity. In our last couple weeks, we didn't have any seniors, and so we had to rely on some of the younger, more motivated girls. You know, some people don't want that role. Some people really want it. We didn't have anybody particularly interested in that role, and so some of the younger girls just kind of stepped up because they had to, because there was a vacuum of leadership. On the boys' side, we had a handful of boys who were all interested, but they weren't quite ready to take the role from each other, and so they kind of worked as a unit. None of them had really been in that leadership role before, and all of a sudden, you know, here they are seniors, and they just kind of worked together to make that happen, to make the leadership happen. And your team tends to do as well as your leaders will let them, and we had a good group of leaders. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for your guys' questions. We have already started preparing for next season. This morning we had about 18 kids show up at 6:45 a.m. to run, so that we're preparing for next year. We've already got November 3rd, 2018 in our minds. Hopefully you guys will come out and support us next year. We also encourage our kids to do another sport, whether it's a winter sport, a spring sport, or preferably both. So hopefully you'll get out there and support the Eagles no matter what sport they're doing.